Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're here today with another Sims 2 speed build, and today we are on 250 Main Street. So this is the Pleasantview pool. This is also, I think, the last Pleasantview community lot I need to renovate. I have also done Woodland Park, but I haven't really changed too much there, so I didn't even bother making that video. I would like to build a whole new park at some point, but for the time being, I have just placed, have I even placed anything in the park? I can't remember. I have just changed a couple things in the park to make it, more my tastes. A park's a park though. It's pretty much fine. But the pool, I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. I mean, I still think this has turned out better than the original 250 Main Street. However, I feel like this is the kind of lot similar to Pepe's Pets that I would just need to completely bulldoze and start again to make it what I would like it to be. I've done what I could with it, and eventually I'm probably just going to completely rebuild the whole thing, but I couldn't be bothered doing it when I was building this. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm doing all the voiceovers for these in the same day, just because I had so many videos ready at the same time. So I have 6 speed builds in total that I have done over the space of 2 days. So I was on a big building kick when I did this, and this is coming sort of towards the end of that. So by this point I was like, I just kind of want this done. And yeah, I couldn't be bothered replacing the whole thing. So this is definitely what I feel the weakest of the community lots in terms of my renovations, just because there is a lot of dead space in this lot that I wasn't really sure what to do with. But I still think it's an improvement, so I mean, pros and cons. This lot's a bit of a weird one to me. I don't really understand what's going on in a lot of spaces. So inside we have some locker rooms, and I have also added in a gym, just to kind of make this more of a leisure centre, I guess. Though it's not quite, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if we remember back to my Tropicana build, I would describe the Tropicana as a leisure centre. I'm pretty sure it's actually called the Tropicana Leisure Centre. I can't remember. But I would call that a leisure centre. And with that, I had like a coffee shop. I had, a yoga studio, this, that, and the next thing. This, I literally just have some workout equipment and a pool. So I feel like this is a very low budget leisure centre. But, I did what I could. The building looks good from the outside, but on the inside, it's not the best. And the layout, I don't really think works. So I don't know, I would probably just completely rebuild this one in the future. But for the sakes of just sort of getting my town ready to play and sort of renovating everything to look decent enough to play, I think it does the job. Like, I can send my Sims here, they can have fun in the pool, I can get some cute screenshots, and I'm not going to be mad about it, So I do feel it looks better. I can't remember if I've added roof trim in this or not, or if I had to go back in and do it after, so there might be some slight discrepancies between the screenshots and, the actual final version of the thing I have in my game. But to be honest, these aren't going up for download anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, if there's some discrepancies. But, I mean, obviously I'd like to show you the finished product to what it actually looks like, but I do think I did forget the roof trim in this. It now has a white roof trim. And I did go back in and change, oh gosh, what is it, 330 Main Street? I can't remember. The very first one I did, that had a grey roof trim, but all my other buildings had white. So I went in and added a white roof trim to that as well. Just try and make some cohesion between the lots. I mean, that was one thing. I did kind of want the lots to all feel like they were part of the same neighbourhood. And they all, were built by the same architects. They're all meant to be in the same place, that kind of thing. Obviously, Pepe's Pets is like the outlier because that doesn't really match any of the other community lots. But again, that's not technically a Pleasantview lot anyway, so I feel like that's okay. That's one of the new builds. But for the other ones, I did kind of want them to have some cohesion to them. And I do think I've managed to pull that off. From what I remember, I've used a very similar like foundation trim in all of them. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There's a lot more I would like to do with this, and I feel like this has a lot more potential. But the whole building needs a rework. Basically, the whole building needs a rework for it to be what I want it to be. Like, on the outside it looks fine, on the inside there is nothing. Like, I have so much dead space that I'm pretty sure I've just filled with vending machines and chairs. So we have like our locker room and we have our gym, and that's about it. I don't know. It's not the best. It's not the best. It's not my favorite. I think my favorite one would definitely still be the grocery store and arcade. I can't remember what number. All the Main Street numbers sort of blend into me. But that, I think, is the community lot I like the best. I do really like how that one turned out. It's just so bright, it's so colourful, it's so fun, there's so much to do. I really enjoy that. Close second would probably be Pepe's Pets, because I also really like how that turned out. This would definitely be bottom of the list. And again, it's not bad, I just feel like it could be better. Yeah, one day we'll change it. When I have more of a desire to, I guess. I don't know, there's still a couple things that I would like to add into Pleasantview that I haven't done yet. I would still like to add in a church and graveyard. Pretty morbid, but like, I'm gonna need a graveyard. I mean, the Goth house has a graveyard, and obviously the Goth family can be buried in that graveyard. However, the rest of the neighbourhood is not going to be buried in, like, Goth Manor, you know? So when the rest of my neighbourhood die off, I would quite like a graveyard to put them in. I also just think a church and graveyard would be quite nice for screenshots. And, you know, just more for, like, storytelling purposes than, like, actual, like, functionality or anything. I mean, I could have, like, wedding parties at the church if I wanted, but I probably wouldn't do that. Like, I'm not religious, like, in real life. So I would never have, like, a church wedding. So I probably wouldn't have my Sims have a church wedding. I don't know. I guess it depends on the Sim and how I feel. Though typically I don't really integrate, like, religion and games. Like, I mean, I don't really do that. So, I mean, I guess by saying that, you can say, like, why are you building a church then? But I mean, which is fair. But I just feel like a church would look better than just, like, a big plot of grass for me to move my graves to. I mean, it would at least add some sort of visual intrigue, you know? But yeah, I would like to build that. And then I would also quite like maybe like a bar and restaurant, just like a date location. Because that's one thing Pleasantview really does lack, is like a date location. Like for teens, it's not so bad. They can go to like the arcade and play around there or whatever. Or even like the coffee shop, I guess, in the clothes store. They could maybe go there for a day at a push, or the park. But you know, for adults, I feel like you wouldn't go to the arcade. Like it would be a certain type of sim that would go to the arcade. You know, I feel like it would be nice to have like a date location in Pleasantview. I still haven't added in Bluewater Village in downtown. If you cast your mind back to my first Pleasantview renovation, not my very first one, because that would have been back when I was playing my original Pleasantview series on the channel, but I think whatever my clothes shop one was, I mentioned then how I had downloaded clean templates of downtown and Bluewater Village, but then I didn't know whether I should add them, because then I would just want to make over all the lots. And like if I give all my Sims makeover and then like Wanda Tinker wanders up with her ugly little hat on, like I would want to just do everything. So I'm still undecided about whether I should add them, because I like the added options. I do like the extra options for the Sims as well. You know, some of my Sims could have romantic interests from these far off lands, but at the same time I'm like, it's not going to fit in with my nice, pretty new neighborhood now, is it? So, I don't know. Undecided. But I haven't played, like, just Pleasantview in the longest time. But then saying that, whenever I do add Blue Water Village, I always immediately send the Blue Water Village Sims home because I'm never ready to integrate them into my neighborhood. I think with Blue Water Village, I would probably only want to integrate them, like, after, like, Gen 2. So, like, what I would consider Gen 1 is, like, your starting families, your founders. So, like, Brandy, Cassandra, Dawn, like, all that kind of thing. I would say they were, like, Gen 1 Pleasantview. Then Gen 2 would be, like, Dustin, Angela, like, Lilith, all those kids who've aged up and then having kids of their own. I would say, like, that would be, like, Gen 2. Like, even though they're already, like, born and established in Gen 1. I don't know if I've made any sense there at all. But, like, that's how I would describe it. So I probably wouldn't want to integrate Blue Water Village until, like, they were sort of adults and established and things. But I don't know. I might just add it in. Who knows? Like, worst case scenario, I just don't send my Sims there. I might give Bernard's Botanical Dining a makeover, though, because that is the lot I go to most in downtown. Blue Water Village, I feel like I can't really make over if I'm not going to play The Sims. But, you know, we will see. We will see. I mean, Brandy might want to go out with Gilbert. So, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, this lot, it's not my favourite. It's not my favourite. I also have an issue with the drinks vending machine, so I deleted it. It makes this weird light, so I just have 2 snack vending machines instead. I mean, thankfully your Sims' hunger is different to thirst. Like, your Sims don't get thirsty and hungry. Like, so a juice will satisfy hunger. And, like, there's no thirst, I guess. So I don't need to have a juice vending machine. I just feel like it would make more sense with being a gym. There would be somewhere you could hydrate, but I guess not. And this is what I mean about filling the hallways with chairs, because there's nothing else for me to put there. Like, since the building goes round in one big loop, like, to get into the room at the back, you kind of need to cut through all the others, you know? So I feel like I can't really put certain things in there just because it would be weird, like, walking through the gym to get to, like, where the book club meets. So I did kind of change the wording in the description for this, because in the description of this lot, it describes it as a community centre, but I wouldn't describe this as a community centre because it's literally just a pool. So I have changed this to be leisure centre, even though, as I already mentioned, my Tropicana build has way more stuff in there. So I would say this is a pretty poor leisure centre. You know, if we base all leisure centres off my one that I built that one time. Oh, dear me. Why am I such a loser? Is what I'd like to know. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So that's all the sort of community lots done now. So I'm quite excited to move into the houses. I mean, there are a couple things I'm also going to build from scratch. Like, I'm obviously going to build, like, my church, as I've established. But I'm quite excited to move into the houses. But I'm also a bit nervous. Like, I want to make over the houses, but at the same time, I want them to still fit the Sims that live in them. It's like, when I make over the Pleasant household, I want it to still look like it's the Pleasant household, you know? I'm very nervous about Goth Manor, because my building style, I would not say is very gothic at all. So I'm gonna struggle to build, like, a dark build that Mortimer would want to live in, but I don't know, it needs to be done. Because while the houses are fine, I feel they could be better, and I would be happier if they were different. I am struggling to words. So I do think, on that happy note, we are coming to the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this community centre down below. Have you made over this? What have you done with it? How have you made this building better? Like, how have you made the floor plan more manageable? What have you done with the dead space? Let me know. I need help. If you also have enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like down below and also maybe subscribing, because that would mean the world to me. I do lots of things in The Sims. At the moment, it's mostly Sims 2, but, you know, it varies, it varies. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye!